Okay, so today we are talking to Les Nordhauser. Les, how are you doing over in Thailand?
I'm doing great. Things are wonderful.
Well, thank you very much for talking to me. This is really a series of interviews aimed at people that want to get into the business. And so I've got the big question to really start off with. What got you into production, and what is it you're doing right now?
That's a couple of big questions. I initially got into production a couple of decades ago, and I was in LA. I had gone to Los Angeles to be an actor, and ended up having a lot more fun behind the camera than in front of the camera. Got more interested in it, and decided to pursue that. What I'm doing now is I'm running a production company in Thailand.
Okay, so if you look back at your career, what was, because students always ask me that as well. They always go, oh God, what was the worst moment, or one of those moments where you really thought, gosh, I wish I would have picked up another profession. Was there ever a moment like that, or was it really smooth sailing throughout?
Oh, it's definitely not smooth sailing. I mean, the nature of this business, unless you're extraordinarily lucky, is that it's continuously up and down. You have really moments of glory and really low moments, and you've got to take them all in stride. In order to survive in this business, you have to develop a very thick skin. There will be moments that don't work for you. There will be shows that don't work for you. There will be executives that are not good for you. There are multiple stories of moments where I thought, there's almost anything else I'd rather be doing than doing what I'm doing at the moment. And yet you get a couple high moments and you forget all about those.
Les, what kind of qualities does somebody have to have in order to survive in this business? What kind of character traits should he bring along, or she?
Well, one I mentioned, and that's the idea of being a thick skin. You have to let things roll off your back, but you have to listen to them anyway. I think that you have to be persistent in your goals. This is a business where doors can be shut in your face fairly regularly, and you have to, the ones that are persistent generally succeed. I think that you have to maintain your integrity. I think that your reputation is the thing that you carry with you, and if you maintain your integrity and are true to yourself, you'll probably be okay.
Now, looking, briefly back again at your career, if there is one moment where you said, "Yep, that's it. That's really worth it. That's I'm really happy. I'm doing what I'm doing." Is there one moment like that you can pinpoint?
There are moments that I think about where I decided that really this is a pursuit that I should follow. When I was considering film school, I was a commercial still photographer, and I was thinking that it seemed to me that everybody that was a photographer that was well established really wanted to get into the business and kind of couldn't do it because they had so much overhead, they had so much vested in being a still photographer that they couldn't go. So what I decided to do is go to film school after the fact. And the idea for me was that when I got out, I could do film, I could do TV, I could do still photography. And I came out and got a job almost immediately as a full-time producer, writer, director on a TV series, and I never looked back.
If you had to do it all over again, would you do it different, or considering the way the economy is going now, do you find it more difficult, harder, easier for newcomers to get into this?
I think it's always been challenging. I think one of the things that I did, and most of the people that I know that started around the same time I did, was we worked for free a lot. And it seems to me that a lot of the people that I see coming up are not that interested in doing that. And it's called paying your dues. I remember a very distinct conversation that I had with someone where, I had been working for a year or two in the business, and I sat down with this guy, and he was a cinematographer. He was a DP. And he said, "How's it going?" I said, "Well, I said, I'm a little frustrated." I said, I'm working 18 hours a day, at least 6, sometimes 7 days a week, and I can barely pay my rent. And he said, you know what? I've been watching you. He said, you've paid your dues. Start charging people. He said, you're giving it away and you don't have to do that anymore. And that's when I started thinking about a day rate. But I spent quite a while working on productions for no money or next to no money just to get the credits. By the time I got out of film school, I had a 3-page resume from all the productions I had worked on.
Okay. Les, was there anybody in your life where you would say that person was particularly inspiring to your career, or that was really a guiding light to get you through all this?
There hasn't been one consistent person all the way through. I think that for me at least, I didn't have one mentor, but I had a lot of people that I would do a show with, or I would do a couple of projects with, and I would learn from them, and that would give me enough to move on to the next thing. The guy I mentioned was a cinematographer that I initially met when I was an extra, when I was first trying to be an actor. And I was an extra, and instead of sitting around with the extras and gossiping and reading the newspaper, I would hang around with the camera crew. And he and I started working on a lot of projects together, and he, again, was one of the people that said, it's time to move forward. You're definitely in the right place. I had another woman that, I joined the American Association of Producers at an early age, and this woman was chairman at the time. She's still one of my closest friends, and literally took me by the hand and introduced me to half the people in the business. And those kind of people absolutely helped. Was there one person that I worked with consistently? No, but through organizations, I'm a very big fan of networking. And through the American Association of Producers, through the Producers Guild of America, I met a lot of people. And those organizations and the people that were on the board of directors, the people that were officers, really were mentors more than anyone else. They guided me through and introduced me to people and made sure that I was always active.